They were two mortals, clad in black, overlooking their kingdom. But this was not their kingdom. This was a valley of death. It spread out to the west and east, a vast waste only intermittently broken by a patch of twisting scrub. Whatever had once flowed through this dry riverbed had all but poisoned it. Even now, hundreds of years after the wars that had ruined massive stretches of countryside, including the vineyards that had once characterized this region, only the staunchest new growth survived. Michael spoke in a low voice, jaw tight. "He's there." A slight breeze lifted a dark wisp of hair free from the torrent of braids that fell down past her shoulders, each of them tied in darkly colored cords, each of them telling a tale of rank, victory, or conquest, so that one might read the entire volume with a glance. Only her brother's plates, shot through with feathers, onyx, and lapis beads, were more elaborate. Roland's stallion snorted, tugged at the bit, shifting on the rocky cliff. With a twitch of the reins, Roland commanded stillness. The stallion quieted, his black coat quivering once. They had tracked death to this valley, pushing their mounts to the breaking point through the waning night and the better part of the day. No creature had the same acute sense of smell as a mortal, and they had picked up the scent from a distance. Death. The smell of corpse. The scent was common, particularly near the cities and towns in which the world's millions lived, human in appearance, dead in reality. But the odor Roland and his ranking second Michael had chased through the night was different than the scent of mere corpse. Deeper, pungent, and metallic. The fragrance of Hades itself. The putrid odor rose from the lone outpost on the crusted valley floor half a mile before them, an affront to every breath they took. Whatever had seized Morrow, that impetuous nomad who'd taken up with the zealots as of late, was either not a corpse or a new kind of corpse altogether. And that was what Roland needed to know. There had been rumors of a new kind of death gathering to crush Jonathan, the maker of all mortals, before his inauguration in 9 days. Roland had heard far too many rumors to give them much attention. They were as prevalent as lore of the Maker's hand, the mystical involvement of a divine maker. But Roland had seen no evidence of the angry god of order that corpses clamored to appease by following their ludicrous rules. But now, with the new odor thick in his nostrils, the reality of an opposing force gained credence in the company of several other pungent tells. Horses, 4 in front of the canteen, 2 more out back. Fresh earth, churned up by hooves, stale water in the trough. The pine wood of the building itself. Morrow. Roland had not smelled his death, which could only mean he was alive. "How did the scouts miss this?" Roland said. "It's beyond our usual perimeter," Michael said. She studied the valley for a few moments. "Thoughts?" "Many," Roland said grimly. "Any you'd care to share?" "Only the one that matters." "And that is?" "He lives, or we die." She nodded. "How then should we help that insolent zealot we call Cousin live?" Roland had gone after Morrow, after hearing that he'd let his drunken mouth flap about bringing the scalp of a corpse home to the Sayala Valley, home for the last year to all 1,200 mortals awaiting Jonathan's rule. Michael had caught up to him in the middle of the night, and Roland had agreed to her company, expecting no real trouble, other than his annoyance, in retrieving him. Until they'd found Morrow's horse 5 miles south of the valley, dead, covered in the new scent of death they'd tracked here. He would have returned for more fighters, but he couldn't afford to lose the new scent, or the chance to learn if the rumored new death was real. With Jonathan's inauguration days away, they couldn't afford to take chances. Beyond that, Roland felt a personal responsibility for the hot-headed zealot. If they did salvage his cousin's life, Roland would personally see that he spent the rest of his days painfully aware of his folly.